Starting over. Okay, problem 1 on page 364. Solving a system of equations by graphing. It says, what is the solution of the system y equals x plus 2 and y equals 3x minus 2? Okay, so when we find the solution of a system using graphing, we will graph both of these lines and then we will see where they intersect. When it's asking for a solution to the system, it's asking, is there an ordered pair, a specific ordered pair that will solve both problems that you can put in, you can substitute in for y equals x plus 2, and then also substitute it in y equals 3x minus 2, and it solved both questions. So that's what we're trying to solve. The way that they want us to do it right now is to use a graph, okay? I realize you can't see that, but you know what the problem says. It's in your book in front of you, okay? All right, so the first one we do, what do we look at when we look at something? These are already in slope-intercept form. So you've got y equals x plus 2. It's already in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is what? Y equals mx plus b, okay? Y equals mx plus b. What is your m? Your m is your slope. Okay? And what is your b? Your y-intercept. Okay? So those are the two things that you use to actually create a line. So you're looking at your slope and you're looking at your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is where your line is going to cross over the y-axis. And that is also where you're going to start to create your line, to start to build your line, okay? So on our first one, we're just going to draw a kind of messy graph, okay? So if you're starting at x plus 2, you're starting at what point? What is your y-intercept on x plus 2? Yes? Yeah, that's okay. So you have y equals mx plus b. That is slope-intercept form of an equation. Okay? So mx, your m, is your slope. That means how much you rise and how much you run. So up 2 over 1, up 3 over 1, whatever you do. And then your b is your y-intercept. Your y-intercept is where your line crosses over the y-axis. So in this circumstance, when we're looking at our first equation, which is right here, okay, we're looking at our y-intercept. Our y-intercept is 2. Our y-intercept is 2. So that means that our line is going to cross the axis at 2. So we put a dot on the 2 on the y-axis, just like we've done up there. Okay? Now we're looking at where our m would be, which is right before the x. So we're looking right in this area right here. Okay? I know you can't see that, but it's okay. It's in your book. You're looking right before the x, and there's nothing before the x. So does that mean that your slope is 0? No. It means that there is a understood 1, okay? So your slope on this one would be 1. Now, how do you put 1 as a fraction to be rise over run? How do you make 1 into a fraction? You put it over 1. Okay, so your slope on this one would actually be 1 over 1. So what that means is you are going to go up 1 over 1, put a dot. Up 1 over 1, put a dot. Up 1 over 1, put a dot. So we start at the 2. We start right where we put our first dot on the y-intercept. Then we go up 1 over 1 and draw a dot. Then we go up 1 over 1, draw a dot. Then we go up 1 over 1, draw a dot. So as you can see, you'd only have to do a couple points to see that there's a line already being formed, okay? Now this is a kind of sketchy drawing because I'm drawing it freehand. I don't have a ruler. So I'm just going to draw a line, kind of what seems like where that line would be, okay? And now we're going to do our second one. So we have y equals 3x minus 2. The negative 2 is our y-intercept. Okay? So now we're looking right here. That -2 right there is our y-intercept. So we put a dot on -2. Oh, sorry, wrong color. Okay, and then we look at our slope. What is our slope? What number comes before the x? 3, okay? But 3 as a slope, we need it in fraction form, right? So how do you put 3 as a whole number in fraction form?
3 over 1.
Put it over 1. So our slope for this one is 3 over 1. So we're going to start at our y-axis. We're going to start down here at -2, where we put our dot, okay? And we're going to go up 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1, because they're both positive. Positive 3 is positive, so we're always going to go up and over. If it were negative, we may have to go left, down, okay? All right, so positive 3, you go 1, 2, 3 up and over 1. And draw a dot. Then you go up 3 over 1 and draw a dot. That dot actually, you can see, is going to be on the other line. So that's where we're going to cross. Go up 3 over 1 and draw another dot. And this is just kind of messy because it doesn't have to be perfect. But we see where they crossed, don't we? There's a dot that's on the other line but is also on this line. So let's draw this dot. Let's draw this line. I know it's kind of, okay? But this is the dot right here. This is the dot that we're looking at. See that dot right there? If I would have drawn my lines properly, which I did not at all, but if I would have drawn my lines a little more precise, that dot right there, that line would have crossed over that dot. Let me erase that line because that's a little confusing. Let me try to draw it a little bit better. Ah! I think it's supposed to go. Yeah, but that, yeah. But I need it to go through this point down here. So, anyways, okay. All right, so as you can see, there's one point that's on both lines, okay? And that is the point that I circled a second ago, which was right here, okay? Now, what is that point? Where is that point? 2, 4. And how do you know that? Because when looking at the graph, you go over 2 on the x-axis. So where we're looking is right here, okay? Is right here. And then we're going up 4 to right here. So our ordered pair is 2, 4. And that is our solution to our graph. All right, so that's the way that you solve the first one. And we'll stop there for the moment, and I'll do a separate video for the other type, okay? And you guys can ask questions on this.